At 6:34 this evening, Enfield police officers responded to 17B Alden Avenue here in town for what we would characterize as a well-being check. This was information that was communicated by a neighbor who had heard some sounds of a disturbance. Responding officers reached the scene in less than 4 minutes. Upon entering the scene, 2 victims were located, 1 male and 1 female. I'm not in a position to provide their identities at this time as we're still endeavoring to confirm those identities. One party passed here at the scene. The other party was transported to Bay State Hospital, where that individual has also passed away. This is a very active, ongoing investigation. We'll have further details as the case should develop. I can tell you that there is no immediate public danger or public concern.
Is there a person of interest?
I wouldn't want to be, I'm not in a position where I can comment on that just yet.
Can you characterize their deaths? I mean, exactly how they might have died?
It was a homicide situation. I wouldn't reach any details beyond that.
Both were homicide?
Correct.
And can you say the method?
I would not do that at this point. I need to protect the integrity of the investigation.
Did you bring in any additional help?
Search warrant is currently pending. State police resources will eventually arrive at the scene after the search warrant is obtained.
Tell us what prompted the well-being check?
Complaint from a neighbor who had heard the sounds of a disturbance coming from that address.
It's a multi-family home? Is it B?
This is 17B, so there's a 17, a 17A, 17B.
I believe you said it was a male and a female. Are you able to characterize, are these adults or are these?
They are adults. And again, we will certainly be at a point eventually where that information will be available, but I don't want to put anything out until I can be absolutely certain on identity.
Is there any indication that this was a romantic relationship, that these 2 people were a couple?
Again, I'm going to need to get a little deeper into the investigation before I can get into any of those details, I'm afraid.
Was anyone else at home at the time?
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're looking into, and as the case develops, we'll certainly make that information available.
Was one of the people transported from here to a hospital?
Correct. One party was deceased on scene, and the other party was transported to Bay State Hospital.
Are you able to say who's who in that scenario?
The female was transported. The male was deceased at the scene.
Can you talk a little about what your investigators and detectives are doing right now?
Sure. Well, right now there's a lot of work to be done outside the premises in terms of speaking to neighbors, in terms of trying to identify the parties, in terms of speaking to anyone that might have information about what it is that transpired. Certainly we're required to get a search warrant under the circumstances, and that will entail a great deal of crime scene processing, forensic type work that'll take place inside the apartment throughout the hours of the night and into the morning.
Have police been called? Have you guys been called to this address before?
That's one of the things that we are looking into.
Is there anybody in custody right now?
Right now, I want to I need to stand on where I'm at right now, as the matter is still ongoing at this point. No one has been charged in relation to the homicide at this point.
Loose ages?
Yeah, again, we have a preliminary understanding as to who the people might be, but if I provide ages, I'm in a situation where I'm effectively identifying before I know for certain. So I can appreciate the need for that information, but please understand why it has the potential to be erroneous and therefore damaging.
And so the neighbor calls for this well-being check. Can you kind of give us a closer look at that timeline? Like how quickly from that call of I'm hearing a disturbance to you guys getting here to then it being just silence?
First officers were on the scene within 4 minutes, and upon arrival at the scene, that's the information. The information that I imparted was what they located.
Can you talk about the type of injuries that the person in the hospital sustained?
Again, I can't reach at this point the details of the injuries suffered by the victims. That information will be made available. At this point, it has the potential to impact the case.
Can the public help in any way in terms of either surveillance video, if they might have heard something or anything like that?
Well, we'd certainly welcome if anyone knows anything, heard anything, or surveillance video. They're welcome to contact the Enfield Police Department, 763-6400. We'd certainly welcome that communication. We will be active in the area, knocking on doors and speaking to individuals.
Characterize this building again a little bit for us. Is it like multi-family, an apartment?
So it's residential in nature. The address is 17B. It's the second floor of 17 Alden.
Are there other agencies here besides Enfield Police?
Well, the State's Attorney's Office, of course, is briefed in, and they're present at the scene, and the State Police Major Crime Squad will be here in assistance to the Enfield Police Department throughout the night.
How long do you guys think you'll be out here?
I would be surprised if it's any earlier than early morning hours.
And loosely, what time did that call come in today?
1834, 6:34 p.m.
Did we miss anything?
I think that's it.